Welcome to Smacky's Garage. Today we're going to be taking the dash out of our 69 Mustang so that we can get rid of the rattles and that we can clean up the wiring. Alright, let's talk about the dash in my car. So if you've been following along, you know I have a 1969 Mach 1 Mustang. I have the correct Mach 1 interior in it. I have the mechanical clock here. I have the tack dash in front of up here. But one of the other things you've probably noticed is there's a lot of wires hanging around in the vehicle. So a lot of these are wires that have been hanging around for quite some time now, and they've been getting in the way. You know, I have two wires here that get in the way of any passengers that are in the car. There's wires on the driver's side, so that on the driver's side I can feel them when I'm moving my foot for the accelerator. So they need to get fixed, and that's one of the things that we're going to do here in this video. You know, we're going to remove the dash pieces both on either side. We're going to take out the clock dash here. We're going to take out the tack dash, the instrument cluster. We're going to take out the dash pad. With all those removed, we should have good access to the wiring back here, so we can fix anything that's rattling and anything that we hear in the car. So let's get started and let's start taking the car apart. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do to take it apart is take off the dash pad. That means there's going to be screws underneath here. There's going to be screws up on the front of the dash, up top. And there's going to be screws all the way underneath holding in these trim pieces, as well as under here. So we're going to go ahead and start taking these apart. So the pieces, they should all be Phillips heads in all the different locations. So now that that piece is off, you can see the screw underneath up there that you're gonna have to take off. So like we were just talking about, we have three here, we have three screws here, one here, and then there are screws up top on the dash, you can see. So the next screws are gonna be up and under here. So we got the major first step done of getting the dash pad out. Now what we have left is the tack. We have the dash here, and then we have the clock over there. So we're gonna go ahead and take the clock out first because this is well secured against the vehicle at 2 points. So down here and up here against the body. So on the lower dash as well as the top body. The clock itself isn't. It's sitting there as a lever. So, you know, it could break, and the plastic's old, it's brittle. So we're gonna go ahead and take that off next. Okay, as we were talking about, this is sitting here kind of levered off of it. As I jump in the car a little bit, you can see it bounce up and down. It's not a good idea to leave it like this overnight or for a long period of time. So I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew it and take it off. I think the easiest way is just going to be to disconnect from the clock itself right now. There's a lot of wires that are disconnected, wires that are hanging. You can see here I actually don't have a map light in the car right now. So what that is, it's a light that's under the clock dash that has a switch that you turn on and off, where it kind of turns on a light for if you have a map in the car, because back in the 60s and the 70s, they had maps. So the plan is we're gonna start taking this apart. I'm gonna take this out right here, the glove box, because I think it'll make it a lot easier to redo some of the wiring. But you can see kind of how much of a mess it is and how it's everywhere. For this, there should be 4 bolts underneath. See, this entire dash is loose too. So I think we're finding our sources of our rattles. One of the things I noticed while looking at the dash is, you can actually slide it forward and back. I've always had an issue with getting the dash pad installed up here for these screws. I have it currently slid all the way forward, so pushed in. I'm going to try putting it into the halfway position, so sliding it out a little bit to see if it'll fit any better. But we're starting to see kind of the reason why it's rattling so much. This is loose over here. There might actually be a screw that goes down here that might be missing. Doesn't look like it, but all right, so I'm going to start doing the cleanup now. And what you can see here is we have a lot of wiring that's all over the place. You have the heater wiring from the motor here that's supposed to be grounded to the dash. That's not attached. We have wiring all over the place that is vibrating against the panels when I'm driving, so that needs to be attached. And then we have wiring that's routed incorrectly or that's too long. So I'm going to start shortening wires. I'm going to start modifying wires, and then we're going to put it back together. So I'm going to go ahead and start kind of working through the wiring now. You can see the wiring's already starting to look a lot better. The only thing I have left to do really is connect the wire in the back, but everything is now held into place by a clip, by electrical tape, or by a zip tie. Now this should make it so that everything isn't rattling and we shouldn't have any issues. And just like that, we're back together. The driver's side and passenger side no longer have wires underneath it. This is going to be a much better experience when you're driving the car, and it's going to show a lot better at the car shows. Thanks for tuning in today on Smacky's Garage. Hope you enjoyed this video.